Rain poured like the sky itself was morning. The streets glistened with reflections of headlights and broken dreams, and among the blurred chaos stood a woman clutching her daughter under a flickering streetlight. Her trembling hands held a half-torn umbrella, barely shielding the child pressed against her chest. The little girl's coat was soaked, her lips blue, yet her innocent eyes still searched the world with faith her mother had long lost. Then, as a sleek black car slowed at the curb, the girl tugged on her mother's sleeve and whispered, "Don't cry, Mommy, maybe that man will help us." If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the magic of compassion that still exists in this world, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Whispers of Kindness, where stories of hope and humanity remind us that love still wins, even in the darkest times. The woman's name was Maya, once a schoolteacher who believed in dreams and morning sunshine. But dreams, like fragile glass, had shattered when her husband passed away suddenly, leaving her with debts she didn't know existed. One by one, life took everything, the house, her job, her security, until only her daughter, Ella, remained, a tiny spark in an otherwise darkened world. For weeks, Maya had wandered city streets searching for work, clutching resumes that no one cared to take. The last of her savings had gone to medicine when Ella caught a cold, and now they had nowhere to go. That night, drenched and cold, she sat on the edge of a bench at a deserted bus stop, wondering if tomorrow was even worth waiting for. The black car stopped near them, its tinted window rolling down with a mechanical hum. Inside sat a man in his early 30s, sharply dressed, his face illuminated by the soft glow of the dashboard. He was Ethan Cole, a millionaire entrepreneur whose name often filled business magazines and headlines. But behind his calm exterior was a man who had everything except peace. He had built empires, signed million-dollar deals, and traveled the world, but the silence in his penthouse had become unbearable since the night he lost his own family in an accident 3 years ago. He never smiled since. He never stopped working. He had turned his heart into stone because feeling was too painful. When Ethan saw Maya and her little girl, something inside him faltered. He had driven past countless people before, never once stopping, but this sight felt different. The child's hand resting on her mother's cheek, her small face pressed into her shoulder, stirred a memory, the way his daughter used to comfort her mother when storms frightened her. Without thinking, Ethan stepped out of the car, the rain drenching his expensive suit, and approached them. Maya looked up, startled, ready to apologize or retreat, but the man's voice was calm, deep, and oddly gentle as he asked, "Do you need help?" The words were simple, but they cracked something inside her. For months, no one had asked her that. Not once. Her lips trembled, but before she could respond, Ella smiled through her tears and said softly, "We just need somewhere warm, sir. Mommy's very cold." That small voice pierced through the armor around Ethan's heart. He took them to his car, offered his coat to Maya, and drove them to a nearby hotel. She hesitated, uneasy about accepting help, but Ella's tiny cough made the decision for her. Inside the warm room, as Ella fell asleep wrapped in blankets, Maya sat silently by the window. She thanked him, her voice shaking with exhaustion and pride. Ethan simply nodded, saying it was nothing, but to him, it wasn't nothing. It was the first time he had done something human in years. The following morning, Ethan returned with breakfast and medicine. Maya tried to refuse, insisting she would find work soon, but he saw through her words. There was something about her, quiet strength hidden beneath all the hurt. He learned that she was educated, kind, and determined, but life had cornered her in ways no one deserved. Ethan offered her a job at his company, not out of pity, but because he saw someone who reminded him of everything real that money couldn't buy. She hesitated, suspecting pity, but he told her firmly, "People fall, Maya. Strong people stand again. Let this be your second chance." Over time, Maya began working as an assistant at his firm. She arrived early every day, humble but efficient, and slowly earned respect. Ethan watched her from a distance, not just admiring her dedication but feeling something awaken within him. Ella often visited the office after school, brightening the corridors with laughter. The once cold-hearted CEO found himself waiting for that laughter, found warmth in moments he didn't realize he'd missed. He would see Ella drawing in his office, proudly handing him doodles of Mr. Ethan with a smile, and every time, he found it harder to deny that they were changing his life. One evening, after a long meeting, Ethan walked into the break room and found Maya quietly wiping tears. Her landlord had given her notice, she had nowhere to go again. Without hesitation, he offered her to stay in the guest house on his estate until she found another place. She refused at first, but Ethan reminded her, "It's not charity. It's just a roof until you find yours again." Reluctantly, she agreed. Days turned into weeks, and the walls of Ethan's mansion that once echoed with emptiness now carried life again. Laughter in the mornings, the sound of little feet on marble floors, the aroma of homemade meals instead of silence. For the first time in years, Ethan woke up to something other than loneliness. Maya tended the garden, Ella played piano, and sometimes, when the sun set, Ethan would find them both by the balcony, humming softly. It was in those moments he realized how much he had missed having a family. But as fate often tests happiness, news arrived that would shake their fragile peace. The company faced a scandal. A former partner accused Ethan of fraud. Overnight, his reputation crumbled. Reporters swarmed, investors panicked, and once loyal colleagues turned away. For a man who had everything, it was a devastating fall. He shut himself off, ready to face it alone. But not Maya. She stood by him, defending him publicly, working tirelessly to clear his name. She told him, "You helped me when I had nothing. Let me stand with you when you have nothing left." Her words healed more than his wounds. Together, they fought through the storm, and soon the truth emerged: the accusations were false. Ethan's integrity restored, but the experience had changed him. He realized what truly mattered wasn't power or wealth, but the people who stay when the world walks away. When it was all over, Ethan called Maya and Ella to the garden. The sun was setting behind them, painting gold over their smiles. Ella ran up and hugged his leg, saying, "See, Mommy. I told you that man would help us." Maya laughed softly, tears glistening in her eyes. Ethan knelt, looking at them both, his voice trembling as he said, "No, Ella, you helped me. You both did." From that day forward, their lives intertwined like roots finding new soil after a storm. Ethan wasn't just a stranger anymore, he became family. And in his mansion, once haunted by memories of loss, laughter returned. Maya found not only stability but love that grew from compassion, not wealth. So if this story touched your heart, if you believe that even one act of kindness can change a life forever, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Whispers of Kindness, because every view spreads another whisper of hope into someone's world. Speech Balloon special request. Comment below, do you believe one stranger's kindness can truly change a destiny? Your thoughts might inspire someone watching right now.